Seriously, look at yourself right now. You wake up, and the first thing you do isn't move your body. It's grab your phone. No sunlight, no momentum, nothing intentional. You start the day with short videos, notifications, messages you don't even care about. Maybe Instagram, maybe YouTube, maybe Reddit. And if you're really cooked, you go straight to gooning, just to feel something before the day even begins. Then it turns into, I'll get up after this. I'll start after one more. I'll do it once my brain wakes up. But before you've done anything meaningful, your brain is already tired. Not from work, but from overstimulation. And now you're here, watching a video about procrastination, to avoid the exact thing you're procrastinating on. I'm not judging you. I've done this more times than I can count. But if this pattern feels familiar, you need to hear this. You're not tired. You're not unmotivated. Your brain has just learned that avoiding things feels safer than starting them. And every time you delay, you reinforce that habit. That's how days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months quietly turn into years. If you've ever wondered why you keep falling behind even though you know what to do, this video is for you. There was a point in my life where every day looked the same. I'd wake up late, grab my phone, scroll for hours, tell myself I'd start properly tomorrow. I wasn't stupid, I wasn't clueless. I knew what I should be doing, but knowing didn't matter at all. I'd make plans at night, sometimes big ones. Study, work, fix my life. And then morning would come, and I'd do absolutely nothing. Days passed, then weeks. I stopped trusting myself. Every time I said, I'll do it later, and didn't follow through, something broke inside of me. I stopped believing my own words. And that's when procrastination really messes you up, because you start seeing yourself as someone who never finishes anything. I remember sitting there one day, phone in my hand, knowing I was wasting time, and still doing it. That's when it hit me. I wasn't procrastinating because I didn't know what to do. I was procrastinating because starting meant facing the fact that I'd already wasted so much time. Avoiding the work was easier than confronting that reality. Let's talk about why your brain is acting mid. It's not because you're lazy. The real tea is that you're addicted to cheap hits. Your brain has this thing called the prefrontal cortex. Imagine your brain as a company, and the prefrontal cortex is the CEO part of your company. Then you have the limbic system, which is basically a toddler screaming for candy. Right now, the toddler is running the whole company. When you see a notification, your brain drops dopamine. It feels like a W, but it's a fake W. It's a glitch. You get the reward without doing the work. So when it's time to actually do something hard, like study or work or hit the gym, your brain is like, nah, that's too much effort. Let's go back to the scroll hole where the rewards are free. You're basically a lab rat pressing a button for sugar water. But the sugar water is Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, games, anime shows, or Netflix series. And the lab is your bedroom. It's a skill issue. You've forgotten how to be bored. And if you can't handle being bored for 10 minutes, you're never going to reach the final boss of whatever goal you're chasing. Look, if I was in your place right now, and trust me, I've been there, I wouldn't be looking for some productivity hack or a fancy planner. That's just more procrastination. If I were sitting where you are, feeling like my life was on pause while everyone else was leveling up, here's exactly how I'd handle it. First off, I'd stop lying to myself. I'd admit that I'm addicted. Deadass. I'd look at my phone and realize it's not a tool, it's a leash. If I were you, I'd grab that phone right now and delete every single app that makes me feel like an NPC. I'm talking TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube if I'm just using it to watch day-in-the-life videos of people actually doing things. I'd nuke them all. I wouldn't limit my time. I'd kill the connection entirely. If I needed to check something, I'd make myself log in on a computer like a peasant. I'd make it so annoying to be distracted that my brain eventually gives up and looks for something else to do. Then, I'd lean into the boredom. If I couldn't get myself to work on that project or study for that exam, I wouldn't just pivot to something else fun. I'd literally sit there and do nothing. I'd stare at the wall. I'd let the silence get loud. Most people are terrified of being alone with their thoughts, and that's why they scroll. If I were you, I'd force myself to be so bored that writing one sentence or doing one task felt like an absolute dopamine hit. I'd make the hard work the only escape from the torture of doing nothing. It sounds crazy, but when you stop feeding the brain rot, your brain starts getting hungry for real progress. And honestly, I'd stop calling myself a procrastinator. That word is a cope. It makes it sound like a personality trait you can't change. If I were in your shoes, I'd start telling myself the truth, which is, I am currently choosing to take an L. I'd look in the mirror and ask if the final boss version of me would be acting this mid. The answer is always no. I'd start moving like I actually have somewhere to be. I wouldn't wait for the right vibe or inspiration because those are myths. I'd just move. Even if the work was trash, even if I hated every second of it, I'd stay in the chair just to prove to myself that I'm the one in charge. not the algorithm. I'd also probably clear my room. If my environment is messy, my head is messy. I'd throw away the trash, clear the desk, and make it look like a place where a winner actually lives. And if I was really deep in the hole, I'd go on a total blackout for 24 hours. No screens, no music, no noise, just me and my goals. I'd walk outside until my legs were sore, just to remember what the real world feels like. You need to remind your brain that there's a whole life happening outside of that 6-inch screen. That's what I would do. I wouldn't wait for Monday. I wouldn't wait for tomorrow. I'd start the second this video ends. Because the longer you sit there thinking about how to fix it, the more time you're wasting. The fix is action. Everything else is just noise. I want you to really think about the grim part of grim wisdom for a second. Time is the only currency you can't earn back. Every hour you spend doom scrolling is an hour you're never getting back. You're trading your potential for literal garbage content. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Same room, same phone, same unfinished goals. That version of you is looking back at this version of you right now, wishing you just got off your butt and did something. Don't let that be your reality. Don't ghost your future self. Life isn't a practice run. There are no respawns in this game. You're burning through your prime years for what? To see what some influencer ate for lunch? To read comments on a post you'll forget in 10 minutes? It's not worth the trade. Alright, the lecture is over. You've got 2 choices now. You can click on another video, find another way to avoid the work, and keep being mid. Or you can shut this down, put the phone on the other side of the room, and do that one thing you've been avoiding. The work doesn't care how you feel. Go get a W today. Even if it's a small one, just start. I've linked a simple task system in the description. Use it to track few things which you'll do every day. If you found this real, subscribe or whatever, or don't. Just go do your work. See you in the next video. Peace.